Hi there. Thanks for listening and tuning into my channel. We're studying and reading through the book of Job, and this is not your huge detailed study, scholarly study by any means. This is just reading the word and letting it wash your soul and wash your life, and picking up a few notes and insights. And my name is Jacob, and thanks for listening in. We're in Job chapter 40. As you know, if you've had any understanding of the book of Job, Job's been through incredible suffering. He lost 7 sons and 3 daughters. His wife said, "Curse God and die." He had all his wealth stolen from him: cattle, horses, oxen, sheep, whatever, donkeys. Lost it all. And then was infected with sores from head to toe. Worms were in his body. Just horrible things. His friends came to so-called comfort him, but they didn't comfort him at all. They badgered him, and they rebuked him, and they spoke down on him, and weren't friends at all. And then finally, this young lad, Elihu, speaks up and speaks wisdom to Job. And now we're in chapter 40, where I'd encourage you to read chapters 38 and 39, where the Lord himself specifically speaks to Job out of a storm. And this is where we're at. We find ourselves in chapter 40, where God is still speaking to Job. Chapter 40, verse 1, it says, "The Lord said to Job," and thanks for listening, by the way. "The Lord said to Job, will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him." Then Job answered the Lord, "I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Twice, but I will say no more." Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. "Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me." In other words, God is saying, get ready, because I'm gonna start speaking. And that enough is terrifying for a man. Anybody has any wisdom at all, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and therefore if you possess any wisdom at all, you have some inkling and understanding of how terrifying the presence of God can be at times. And at least I would testify to that. And so here God is revealing himself to Job, which has to be terrifying. Verse 8, chapter 40, verse 8. "Would you discredit my justice?" God is speaking to Job. "Would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you have an arm like God's? Can your voice thunder like his? Then adorn yourself with glory and splendor, and clothe yourself in honor and majesty. Unleash the fury of your wrath. Look at every proud man and bring him low. Look at every proud man and humble him. Crush the wicked where they stand. Bury them all in the dust together. Shroud their faces in the grave. Then I myself will admit to you that your own right hand can save you." God's saying, if you can do all of that, then I will say your own right hand can save you. But God knows that Job can't save himself. God knows that Job can't contend with God. And why would we do that? That's ridiculous. It's a never-ending losing battle. And one of the most, if not the most foolish act in the history of creation was Satan thinking he could contend with God and take down God. And obviously we know the results of that. He fell, a great fall, and God threw him down to the earth, and 1/3 of the angels went with him. Anyway, so that's what God is saying. And then again, he goes back to creation, and he gives us huge wisdom and insight here in verse 15 of chapter 40. God brings up the dinosaurs. "Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. What strength he has in his loins, what power in the muscles of his belly. His tail sways like a cedar. A cedar is a very, very big, long tree. So picture a long, swaying tail. The sinews of his thighs are close knit. His bones are tubes of bronze, something that is very strong to hold a lot of weight. His limbs like rods of irons, again, that hold a lot of weight. He ranks first among the works of God. Incredible. Yet his maker can approach him with a sword. Something so great and so powerful and so giant and so strong, and yet God can just direct him with a little sword. Something very small like that. This is brilliant. Think of a big elephant in a circus, or a lion or something like that in a circus, where the master can just direct him with little movements or little pricks. Well, magnify that, and that was what God is expanding on here. Verse 20, chapter 40, verse 20. The hills bring him their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plant he lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotuses conceal him in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surround him. When the river rages, he is not alarmed. He is secure, though the Jordan should surge against his mouth. Can anyone capture him by the eyes, or trap him and pierce his nose? Chapter 41. Can you pull in the Leviathan with a fishhook? So God is bringing up two animals here. Dinosaurs, the behemoth and Leviathan. This is proof of creation, proof of dinosaur, proof that God was there in the beginning. He made man and dinosaurs at the same time. And these are the things that God is speaking to Job about in very, very humbling circumstances. Let's keep going.